President of the United States.
Why are all of your children not here?
Pavel Narishkin asked in an even thicker accent.
There is a daughter of the household missing, no?
The eldest, Fanny, is in Wales presently, Papa said. She is interested in educational matters like her late mother, and has taken the offerings of our juvenile library to a community there. I watched Mary's eyelids flutter and her mouth work. I remembered my stepsister Fanny's tears as she was sent away for loving a married poet. The man in question, Percy Bysshe Shelley, a disciple of Papa's, had affected us all in curious ways.
I see you live over your shop,
Pavel Narishkin said.
Is that common in London?
It makes life simpler, Papa said. We are not proud people, however the business continues into the next building. We publish many educational works as well as sell them here. There was a murder in the bookshop recently, Mary said, a malicious gleam coming into her eyes as she glanced at me.
How dreadful,
the princess murmured, but her husband spoke over her, changing the subject.
When will Miss Fanny return?
He asked. We do enjoy travelling in this family, Mamma said with a vapid flutter of her fingers for emphasis. The air is terrible here, Mary said in a flat tone. There are prisons all around us, and a slaughterhouse. Often there are hangings. She pointed an accusatory finger toward the window. Mary, I chided. It's not as if you can see the gibbet from the house. They build it a bit down the street when it is needed. Mamma's face had gone florid. Well, Mary jumped in her seat. Mamma had probably pinched her with those strong sausage-like fingers. Her pinches left bruises.
Does she tend to illness?
Dmitri Narishkin asked. Fanny? I asked. No, not of the physical kind. Jane, Papa barked. Fanny is in excellent health, and we all enjoy travelling. Mary returned from a long trip to Scotland at the end of winter. Fanny and Mary both tended to depression. Though they had different fathers, the Wollstonecraft blood came with a heavy mental burden, it seemed. I only knew my father had been Swiss, but I must have inherited my cheerful temperament from him.
Miss Fanny should be with her family,
Count Narishkin said.
She should be brought home to London, where she belongs.
His tone, not to mention his opinion, confused me. Perhaps he believed that daughters of the household should be kept at home minding their needlework. Unlike Mary and me, though, Fanny was old enough to be out in the world, married or even working. But these visitors were upper class after all, and their women were much more decorative than useful, as we had to be. I am very excited you're here, even if dear Fanny cannot be, Mary said.
How sweet of you to say,
the princess cooed. Oh, yes, Mary leaned forward. You see, I'm writing a novel called Isabella the Penitent, or The Bandit Novice of Dundee. My heroine is, as expected, in a most modest situation at the start of the book, but when she is kidnapped, she will be dressed by the wealthy villain. I must store away the details of your wardrobe and jewels for Isabella. The princess smiled and saluted Mary with her wineglass.
Do you write with a message, as your dear mother and father did?
I think a well-educated girl can overcome just about any difficulty, Mary said, her words tumbling faster as she warmed to her subject. Why should any girl be helpless? Papa and Mamma have always said they did not have time to educate us to my mother's standards, but I have a terrible fascination for natural philosophy and any kind of book, really.
Do your ideas come from the natural world, then?
The princess asked. From dreams, Mary said, leaning forward until the bodice of her black silk dress nearly dipped into her buttery potatoes. I read too much, or see something in the neighbourhood, and it is all twisted into dreams. Why, Papa cleared his throat. At my age, we have many young people around us carrying the torch for our principles. One of the best, Percy Bysshe Shelley, has just assured me he will be staying in London under my tutelage instead of returning to Wales. I wondered what that would mean for poor Shelley's disastrous marriage. I half thought he should return to Wales with his cheating wife and horrid sister, abandon them there, then flee back to London. Mary's eyes had widened, though the rest of her expression remained serene. Papa might have at least let her finish answering the princess's question. I noticed the princess had not touched anything on her plate after the first couple of bites. Our French cook, the poor dear, had burned the potatoes again and boiled the cabbage down to an unappealing mush. Do you hire many French women in Russia? I asked, setting down my knife. Are they all as difficult to train as our cook? Jane! Mamma whisper roared, then pushed her chair back so quickly.